This is Political Science chapter number 2, End of Bipolarity. So let us understand this chapter. Hello dear students. In political science, now we will cover chapter number 2, the end of bipolarity. The end of bipolarity. Remember, bipolar means two poles. In the previous chapter, we dealt with two superpower blocks. Okay, so the world was bipolar during the Cold War era. Now, this chapter will deal with the end of bipolarity, how one of the pole came to an end. And this is how we will learn in this chapter. The slides are from HSS Live. Let us begin. Now you can see very clearly Russian Revolution 1917 on the top of it. It is written Russian Revolution. Now what was this revolution? See, it occurred in 1917. Remember that 1914 to 1918 was the era of First World War. The First World War was going on. Russia was also engaged in this war. The Tsar, the Emperor of Russia, jumped into this war and he forced countless people to join in army and fight in this war. Because of this, the peasantry, the workers in Russia, they became annoyed with their Tsar or their emperor, and they wanted to bring a radical change in the political and economic system of their country. So this change came by the Russian Revolution of 1917. See, when war was going on, that time this revolution started. So what were the principles or the ideas or ideals of this Russian Revolution? Number one, it was based on socialism and equality. Remember, Western world was representing not only democratic system, but it was also propagating capitalism, means capitalist economy. The sole objective of capitalist economy is to gain profit. But opposite to capitalist system is socialist system, in which the property is owned by the community or the property belongs to the state, the one who are ruling. So there is no place for private property, and there is no place for any monarchy, any czar ruling Russia. Okay, so socialism came through Russian Revolution in Russia first, when all the private property were confiscated, they were taken over by the state. And this is how we find Union of Soviet Socialist Republics was formed after the revolution. Of course, revolution started in 1917, but it went on for few years till 1922, when ultimately USSR came into existence. As you can see very clearly that it was formed in 1922, and after the establishment of this new socialist government, they totally opposed capitalism, okay, and primacy to the state and communist party. Remember, those who support socialism, they are basically communist people. Okay, you should remember the idea of communism was propagated by Karl Marx in his book Das Kapital. So here we find when the Labour Party or the uh, party which was controlled by peasants and workers in Russia, when it came into power, okay, so that party was declared as Communist Party. And after forming the government, they did not allow in their parliament any opposition. Okay, imagine in a democratic system we always find the ruling party and there is also opposition party, but in Russia there was only ruling party and the name of that party was Communist Party, and there was no opposition party. Therefore no chance of questioning the rule and dictates of that government. No one can raise their voice. Who will represent the people's complaints? No one was there. So it was a single party rule in USSR, and they adopted planned and controlled economy. It means whether agriculture or industry, all the means of production, they need to be planned and controlled by the government. There is no place for private property. Even farmers were not having their own land. Whatever agricultural land they had, it all went into the control of Communist Party of USSR. So this is called planned and controlled economy. Now all these things, why they started this concept? Because they thought that whatever evils are there in the world, the poverty, the unemployment, the backwardness, and the crime and injustice, it is all caused because of privatization, because of capitalism, and because of democratic system. So they wanted to create USSR into a beautiful heaven where there will be no injustice, no unemployment, no poverty, okay, and no issues of quarrel, no inequality. They said all inequality exists in Western world where democratic system is there, where capitalism is there, but in our country we won't have any inequality. So with this great expectation, with this great dream, they formed USSR. Okay, so you can see this entire system was called Soviet system. What was it called? It was called Soviet system. So Soviet system in the beginning had its merits, very good points, the plus point, the positive side. Okay, so Soviet system is called the role model. Remember, it is called a role model. Okay, and this is how in this role model, first of all, what they did was they developed complex communication network. Means they developed the roads, transportation, and all means of communication. They connected almost every village with the main road and installation of communication facilities so that they can be in touch with all the areas of their rule, of their own country. Then they developed vast energy resources. Remember, they believed that there should be huge generation of energy resources. Lot of electricity is required for the development of this country. So they built big projects, nuclear power plants, thermal power plants, hydro power plants, Okay, solar power plants, so many things they develop, vast energy resources, so that when they open some industry, uh, they won't find it difficult to get the power supply. Another thing, self-sufficient consumer industry. You should know industries are basically classified into basic industries and consumer industries. Here consumer industries means all day-to-day materials which we all require in our life. So under Soviet system, they created consumer industries. We will not buy anything from outside of their country. Everything will be manufactured in their own country. So they wanted to become self-sufficient, Atmanirbhar. We won't depend upon anyone in this world. Okay, and another, minimum standard of living to all citizens. This is very important. Minimum standard of living to all citizens. You know, during these days of lockdown, what you are experiencing, dear students? Are you not experiencing minimum standard of living? The way you used to spend money on eating and enjoyment, it's all gone. You are simply surviving, okay, by eating simplest food. This is called minimum standard of living to all citizens. So Soviet system gave this idea that we need not have to lavishly live this life. We should have minimum standard of roti, kapda or makan. Okay, we should not be hoarding lot of wealth. And moreover, in socialism in Soviet system, there was no place for private bank account. Even if you had your own private bank account, government can take out the money from your account without telling you. Okay, now basic necessities to all. Government said we will provide all the basic necessities in the area of health, education and child care, women care. We will going to provide all those basic needs. Government took the responsibility upon its shoulder. Okay, your health policy, hospitals and all the expenses related to your illnesses, government will going to bear it. Education, government will open the government schools. There will be no place for private schools, all government schools. Child care, they will take care of children. Okay, their health, their diet, everything will be provided by the government. And no unemployment. This is another important issue of Soviet model. They created, they planned to create huge infrastructure where every working person will be employed. So there will be no place of unemployment. So this is how the Soviet system, which is called role model, was started with all these plus points, all these merits. Is it clear? Now turn to the demerits, the other side of this Soviet system. Now, as I told you, that there was no place for privatization, everything was under government control. So government developed its own civil services, bureaucratic system, its own civil services, its own government departments everywhere. Everything you have to have in your life. You want to apply for something, you have to go to government department, so Soviet system created bureaucratic system. Okay, and this bureaucratic system, as the time passed by, this system, all the civil servants, all the bureaucrats became authoritarian. Means they started bossing, they started dictating people, they started misbehaving with people. So people, whenever they went with some file or with their work, it was very difficult for them to get the work from these people because they became extremely corrupt. they started taking bribes, and moreover they became authoritarian. Authoritarian means behaving like a dictator, behaving like godfather. Another demerit is domination of a single party. As I told you, there was no place for opposition. Every 5 year, 4 year, 5 year, I think they were having election. But what was the use of the election? Only one party was there. So people simply did the formality of casting the vote. So when domination of a single party is there, when there is no place for opposition, then definitely that single party will also become dictatorial, authoritarian. And this is what it was happening in Russia, USSR. Unaccountable administration. Another demerit is unaccountable. Unaccountable here means we are not answerable. We are not answerable. Why file has not moved from this table to another table? Well, we are not answerable. It will move. It will take time. This is the way the bureaucrats, the government servants, those who were appointed to take care of Russian common people, they became unaccountable in their work. Then domination of Russia. Why domination of Russia? I will just tell you. I'll just show you. See, these are the 15 republics of Russia. And out of that, Russian Union dominated all other 14 republics. All other 14 republics compared to Russia were economically weak. Therefore, we just read domination of Russia. So this Russia was dominating over all those other republics. Another thing, inferior technology. When Western world was developing in science and technology, USSR was also developing, but compared to the Western science and technology, their science and technology was inferior in quality. Okay, they were not open for innovative ideas. They were not willing to understand or to purchase any technology from outside of their country. They thought they are self-sufficient. So what happened? Their technology was inferior. In 1980s, when Russian cosmonauts were going into space, they used to wear special suits even in their space stations to protect their bodies. At the same time, Americans, when they were sending their astronauts into space station, those astronauts were in their t-shirts and half pants floating in spaceship. So you can understand Russia was having inferior technology compared to the Western technology.